We'd now like to open it up to some questions from the floor. If you could be patient and wait till Jenna, right there with a microphone, gets to you, just raise your hand.
Hello. Rick, Bill King with the Daily Gazette from Schenectady. I asked you this a little while ago, but I was just wondering, now only 2 weeks from getting your hands on some of those rookies, how excited are you for that, for the 13th to roll around?
Very excited. I mean, just the being assigned to this position, and then obviously there's a certain amount of personal stuff that has to be taken care of. Hopefully by the middle of next week, my family will be moved here and settled in and get the kids in school. But at the end of the day, I'm a hockey coach, and I'm ecstatic. I can't wait for camp to start, and as these weeks progress, get an idea of potentially what the team here is going to look like, and obviously a lot of that will be determined in training camp. But this is a time of year, I think anybody involved in hockey, as you get towards the end of August, beginning of September, and Labor Day starts to creep around, you get very excited to get back into it. It's been a long summer, and we're looking forward to getting back on the ice and watching this team take shape.
Just to follow up, how do you anticipate it helping any of these rookies that are coming in, or any of the other guys that are moving to Albany to play, having a coach who himself is also making that adjustment, moving to a new city?
Yeah, I think obviously there's going to be people in the area that help players get adjusted, but no question. I think like everybody's talked about up here, I mean, once the players get here and see the facility, and I don't know how many of them have played down here. Again, I have a prior experience and have been here. I actually coached here for a couple games when I was with Norfolk as an assistant 5 years ago. So I think just in general, I just think everybody's excited. I think the players will be excited when they get here coming out of camp, and it's kind of a fresh start for everybody, and to be able to do it here in Albany, where the team has a history, and to be able to do it in a facility like this. And like I said, that once the guys see the dressing room and we get settled in here, I think it's going to be exciting for everybody.
Any other questions?
Oh yeah, Lou, Pete Dordick, the Albany Times Union. Can you talk a little bit about the differences being here now compared to when you were here for that 13-year stretch when you did not own the team?
Well, I think the major difference, and I say this, is the excitement, and as Bob mentioned, and both Chris has mentioned, is the city wanted us back. The city felt very strongly that our organization is someone that they wanted here. And the way they went about it, I think that it was totally different. It wasn't, we weren't just taken for granted. I think at that given time, we had to do everything ourselves. I think that right now, what I'm told from Chris Ciceri and Chris Wendrinsky, the amount of cooperation that we're getting and the amount of interaction from the community and from each and every individual has just been fantastic. And it started with Bob. We can kid about aggressiveness, but the step that he took forward as far as what he was going to do, he backed. And it wasn't just in money, or it wasn't just in renovations. It was just in the context that he opened the doors for, how he shared the sponsor relationships with, all of those type of things. That's what was different.
Mary Lou Conley, I'm a county legislator, but I have a quick question. How many individuals will be moving into the Albany area as a result of this? I mean, this is economic development. It's exciting, there's no question about it. It's about as exciting as anything has happened here in a little while, because we've got you folks back here. And but how many individuals will be moving? I mean, that's a big deal.
Well, before we answer that, I'm going to take you back to New Jersey, because I'm going to put you in the locker room after the way you presented that. Absolutely. I just concur.
I should use overall.
Well,
Well, let's look at it this way. You're going to see, anywhere from 20 to 25, 26 players and their families, unless they're single, and there will be a lot of young players. Then you have a coaching staff that's going to move their families. You have the trainers and equipment people, and then you have the staff that Chris has in the office. As far as that will multiply depending upon the needs with reference to how things are going. So I think you're going to be well up to 75 people.
That's wonderful.
Plus families.
Anyone else?
Will you want to house any of the young kids?
Jen, a question behind you.
Sure.
John Craig from News Channel 13, WNYT. No offense to your fine mascot, the Devil Dog, but how much of it was, the River Rat had such a tradition here and so on, and the fans seemed to think when this was announced months ago, why couldn't we keep that name? Was that part of the negotiation? I know you certainly want to keep the Devil affiliation, but was there talk because of the tradition of the River Rat being here for so long that you might have kept that?
From my perspective, Lee Iacocca said, don't listen to your friends, listen to your enemies. So if you read blogs, we heard the same thing that you heard. But I think if you go out, before you go into the locker room and you look out on the rink, we're a tenant in the building, and one of the things that we wanted to do was be respectful of the other tenant here. So we moved all of the River Rat banners to one end. And then we put our New Jersey Devil banners right beside them. And I think it's historic. When we organizationally have spoken with fans and so forth, we've told them, wear your River Rat, wear your jersey, wear your hats, and hopefully over time you'll be able to buy some of our Albany Devil jerseys. But we're proud of that history. And you'll also see another player's jersey that was retired up there, Chris. And so we're proud of it. So I don't know if that answers your question. I wasn't a part of the negotiations, but I do believe from a business side and from a fan base, come on down, wear either or, but just come on down.
We have time for one more question.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Hollick with Time Warner Cable Sports, and speaking of fans, certainly there's a lot of excitement around this team coming, and hockey fans will be out to see what's going on. Can you talk a little bit about your philosophy for fan development and how someone who may never have been to a game here or who has been to a game here might think this experience will be different? Because I think we're all interested in making sure you fill seats.
I think for us, and that's a great question, because those are the types of people we do want to see. The fans that are hockey fans are very special to us, but making new fans is special as well. So I think for them, the exposure to the type of hockey, the young, exciting player that we feel is going to be the next wave of New Jersey Devils, the way they'll interact with people in the community, not only young people, whether it's students, whether it's athletes, or whether it's people who, over the years, a little more experience, who may not be currently in the workforce or whatever, they'll be able to, I think, respect and appreciate these individuals. And for us, that's the type of approach that we'll take in exposing these new fans. But as far as the product, they're going to see an exciting product. We had a very young team last year that I think got a lot accomplished on the ice. And as Rick said, we're here to win. So accomplishing not only development, but accomplishing wins, whether it's shifts, periods, and ultimately games, is something that's going to be on the top of our list.
Well, if you have the time, I hope you'll take the opportunity to tour the new locker room. I had a chance before we came out here, and it puts some NHL teams to shame. I think you can see Chris Lamorello for that. I'm going to ask the people up here on the stage to remain for just a few minutes for photo ops. Other than that, they can be available for one-on-ones. We'd especially like to thank the media here today. We appreciate your coverage of our great game and hope we'll see you at the season opener here against Adirondack on October 9th. Thank you very much.